Welcome to Module 3. So this week, I want to talk to you about hormones. So this week's module is a short one, a shorty poo, mainly because I'd like you to spend more time on this week's homework since it requires more prep time than usual. So use the extra time after this module to do just that, please. Alrighty then, so let's get into it. You may have heard me say that hormones are the mother of all evil. And that's because, well, they are, man. Wonky hormones? That shit ain't no joke. Just ask a chick with PMS, a pregnant lady, or a mom just after giving birth. Hormones are real, people. So we all know about these extreme cases. But did you know that aside from these extreme situations, and for both male and female, you can still have hormones that are out of whack and that you just might not know it? So, a couple questions. First one is, who gives a shit? Well, you do. You may just not know it yet. Sure, you can't see them. Sure, you can't exactly measure them. But if your hormones are jacked up, no matter what you do, you are basically going to be struggling, and struggling hard. Struggling with feeling good, struggling with feeling calm, struggling with everything to do with the way you think and the way you feel in your own skin. And this affects every area of your life: work, health, and relationships. So, all right, how do you know if it's your wonky hormones messing with you or if you're just plain old grumpy? Well, here's a good way to gauge it. Does it feel like you're trying everything, but you feel like you're just running on a treadmill, exhausted to death, but the tension and the negative train of thoughts just won't stop? Hormones! Does it feel like you just want to give up because it's hopeless? Hormones! Wonky hormones are the foundation of anxiety. It's the fertilizer, the seed, and the sunlight for anxiety. So I would say that when I got my hormones sorted, I took my anxiety from a 9 to like a 5. And that huge edge off then made it easier to work on the remaining 5. So it's the first and most important step here. It's the foundation for the house we're building. Alrighty, so next question. How do hormones get wonky in the first place? Oh my gosh, I love this question. So there are 3 main things that mess up hormones. And they are how you sleep, what you think, and what you eat. So let me explain how. Last week, we introduced the bedtime ritual, and I mentioned I'd explain more about how sleep affects our hormones. To put it simply, your body needs sleep to regulate your hormones on a daily, ongoing basis. While you sleep, your body is repairing and regenerating, yes, but it's also optimizing your hormonal balance. So, if you get one bad night's rest, you may notice that you feel wonky. And okay, what can you do? But if you're not getting good quality sleep on an ongoing basis, this hormonal imbalance builds on the imbalance the day before, and it gets worse every day. And this hormone shit stew can cause you to feel legit insane. So if this is something that's been happening for a long time, your body will need time to get back to its base. So this is the reason why a really good sleep routine is essential, because you don't want to take your body too far out of optimal balance, because it then takes a lot of time to come back from there. So remember the sleep tips from last week. No screens an hour before bed. Try to get in bed before 10, 11 the latest. Read an actual book or do something that relaxes your mind. Maybe try taking a nice relaxing shower. or do the shower meditation we talked about. And you can do a quick 3-minute gratitude journaling practice or my gratitude meditation from last week, or just close your eyes and remind yourself of 3 things you're grateful for from that day. Alrighty, now a few other tips that might help include not eating 2 hours before bed, especially not spicy food or sugar. Also, try and make sure that your room is dark. This helps your body get into the state of sleep that is most restorative for you. Make sure to put your phone on airplane mode, or even better yet, if you can remove all the electronics from your bedroom, that's awesome, to give your body a much needed break from all the EMS. Try investing a little bit in making bedtime a luxury for you. I have sheets that I adore, and when I get into them, I feel like I'm sleeping on a cloud. Some people spray their pillow with rose water or lavender spritz, maybe light a candle. You could put special crystals by your bedside that embody the things you'd like to bring into your life. Whatever it is, get creative. This is an opportunity for you to treat yourself and to make your bedtime an even more restful and useful experience. Now, let's talk about how what you think affects your hormones. People are usually really surprised to learn that they can consciously manipulate their hormones, for better or for worse, simply by choosing what types of thoughts you think. The process of thinking requires firing of neurons in various parts of your brain that emit different types and combinations of hormones. So you experience these hormone cocktails as emotions. And this might sound complex, so let me give an example. It's like you come out of your cave and you see a hungry tiger. You think, danger, right? Your amygdala, which we'll talk more about later, is activated by that thought. It secretes adrenaline that then heightens your fight or flight response, which causes you to experience an increase in energy in order to escape that tiger. So this adrenaline then causes you to experience the emotion of fear. That emotion of fear then creates other scary thoughts. Then the process repeats, creating a feedback loop of more of the same. Another example, you see a baby smiling. A group of areas, including the ventral tegmental area, substantia nigra regions, and the striatum, and others light up and secrete dopamine. You feel good, you feel happy, amazing. So you can see how what you're thinking triggers a part of your brain that releases a hormone that determines how you then feel. But here is the interesting thing. When you worry about something in the future, you imagine a negative scenario occurring. Your body and your mind, through that imagination process, experience that scenario hormonally and emotionally as if it's occurring right now. The thought of being eaten by a tiger creates hormones that make you feel anxious and scared. And the thought of a baby smiling creates hormones that make you feel happy. So this is how what you think creates hormones that dictate how you feel. So you can see how if you're constantly worrying about things or thinking of negative things happening, your body is going to constantly flood itself with hormones that do not feel good. Hormones that lead to you feeling emotions of fear, angst, and sadness. And the more you do one, the more you strengthen that neural pathway, and the more it becomes second nature to you to do it. All right, so hormones are a big topic, and this is one of the reasons why this is an 8-week course. It's important for you to gradually implement different things without being overwhelmed. So we're going to get to mind management in module 6 later on, and it's one of my absolute favorite modules, so look out for that one. But keep in mind that you're already doing a lot towards mind management with your morning and bedtime rituals. But for this week, I want to focus on how what we're eating is affecting our anxiety, because that's a biggie. All right, I am totally a foodie. I love food. And I still eat lots of things that aren't allowed occasionally because I want to be free to enjoy my life on my own terms. I just do it with much more awareness. I know if I have an Oreo, I'm not going to feel good half an hour after, and that's cool. And knowing that, occasionally, I still pop an Oreo or two because I'm a big girl and I consciously accept that trade-off when I want to. But if I have an important day ahead, I know what to eat and what not to eat to make sure I'm in my best state of mind. And truthfully, through the process that I'm going to share with you, changing my diet gradually was extremely painless and effortless. And that's because we use a process of association where you rewire your brain to crave foods that make you feel good. And you rewire your brain to have an adverse feeling towards foods that make you feel bad. So nothing I'm going to do here is restrictive. I just personally never had enough discipline for any kind of restrictive approaches. And I don't feel like I'm making any tough effort with my food choices. So just trust me on this. I'll explain more later in the module. But for now, let's get back to having an understanding of how food is affecting us. Okay, your body is like one big chemical equation. What you put in determines what you get out. So think of it like a car. It needs fuel to run, and you put fuel in and it takes what it needs and discards what it doesn't. But there's an important element that we forget about sometimes. And that is that some foods leave toxic remnants behind. Like behind inside your body. So this is why what you eat and also why eating organic is so important. Because if you're constantly consuming poisons in everything you eat all day long, which your body never evolved to process, it's going to have a negative effect on you physiologically. Your body just won't be able to function optimally, and then it begins to break down. And this messes with your hormones and your organs, and things get out of whack. And over time, these toxins pile up, and it becomes difficult for your body to function with this toxic buildup. So, as a protective mechanism, your body knows intuitively this is not right. And that feeling is manifesting as anxiety. So that's one way that foods can mess with your hormones. Another way is through the way the energy is extracted from the food that we're eating. So for instance, sugar. Sugar is one of the top 3 anxiogenics. An anxiogenic is, by definition, an anxiety-inducing substance. So when you consume sugar, your body gets like a huge rush of energy and you feel so good in that moment. I mean, it's addictive. You may have heard that sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. You're like riding so damn high on that sugar high, and then 30 minutes later, you crash, boom, lull. Maybe you're feeling tiredness or mental fogginess or sadness. And then you need another super sweet snack to pick you up to keep that high. And so the cycle goes. Other foods like caffeine, another of the top anxiogenics, cause your adrenaline to spike, which causes your heart to race and your mind to speed up. And if you already have anxiety, that can become unbearable. All right, guys, I hesitate to tell you that the third anxiogenic is alcohol, because finding out that sugar, coffee, and alcohol are contributing to anxiety can cause legit anxiety. So I'll include a separate note on how alcohol affects your anxiety and what you can do about it below this video. All right, so let's talk about what I call the anti-anxiety diet, where we cover what you can do about all this without it being too much of a difficult adjustment for you.